I remember the first time I saw her. It was at a party at Jimmy Rayburn's. And me and these two girls, Susie Heller and Delamay Robbins, we were just talking and smoking cigarettes out on Miss Rayburn's deck when all of a sudden, I see this girl inside at the party. And she had this blonde hair, this red jacket, and this smile that was, even from a distance, just kind of electrifying to the heart, And about a minute later, the sliding door to the deck opens, and this girl, she comes out, and she's headed towards me. And I remember thinking to myself, and this is word for word what I thought, I'm not even going to bother talking to this girl. So she comes over and says hello, and I just, excuse myself right off the bat, heading back inside. And anyways, a little bit later, I'm sitting on the couch when this girl, she comes up to me and says, I saw you in that play the other night. You made me cry. And then 2 days later, I took her out on a date. And when I was driving her home, we passed by this house where my friend David Huey used to live, who had died. And I hadn't been by the house since he had passed. The family didn't live there no more. But when I saw the house, I don't know, I guess I got struck with this feeling. And I asked if she wouldn't mind if we just pulled up in front of that house and stopped for a moment. She said sure, so I did. And we just sat there, quiet, not saying nothing. And before I knew it, I was tearing up. Because this kid had been a real good friend of mine, And then I just started crying, and I couldn't help myself, and I couldn't shut it off. And I was real embarrassed. And she just held me while tears and snot and whatnot just kind of poured out of me onto her sweater. And she didn't even seem to mind about that. She didn't mind at all. Anyway, eventually I drove her home, and when we got to her door, I apologized about all the crying and all. And she looked at me and she said, don't be a jackass. But then I went on to explain my meaning, which was, if you wanted a girl to think that you're sensitive or something, then maybe taking her to the house of your dead friend and crying all over her sweater might be a good way to pull it off. And you know what she said? She looked at me for a good long while with them all the way dazzling eyes of hers, and she said, well, if it was a trick, then I'm tricked. Hi, my name is Robert D'Entremont. This was a monologue from The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, written by Stephen Adly Gurgis. I'm with Agence La Suite. I live in Montreal. Thank you. Bye.